This is the Starbarista podcast, covering global cafe culture.
My name is Gwilym. I'm 41. I've been in London so long now that I'm probably from London, but I was brought up in Leeds. Latte. Cortado. Yes. At the moment, we're making a cortado, which is Spanish drink. It's like a small latte, without being too overwhelmed by milk. I've been a barista for 10 years, since I went travelling and arrived in New Zealand with no money and had to get a job. I got a job within a burgeoning coffee scene there that I'd never seen the likes of before. Very coffee orientated, food orientated, various things happening in the cafes. Came back to England and tried to enter the coffee world. I got very disillusioned. I first started working with the chains and realised that the coffee was ultimately it was just a product and it was just about the money. It wasn't about the coffee. The cart on Whitecross Street is quite a low footfall area and probably not a prime place that somebody would put a cart. The cart itself is outside, which is fantastic. I love that connection with people. There's no barriers, it's here. This is the coffee, and can we get it or just come and chat to me? There's no doors, no walls. The machine, very simple, just on a homemade trolley. The money was spent on the actual espresso machine itself, which is a Mazzocco 2-group linear. There are a few people that just happen to come past and they'll spot the machine and go, hang on a minute, they got a Mazzocco. What are they doing on a street with smashed windows and derelict buildings behind with this sort of 2-group linear? The coffee that we use on both our carts is roasted locally. It's roasted by Monmouth Coffee Company, who are small independent coffee roasters. Base of the blend is Brazilian, then some lovely Colombian from a co-op called Quebradon, some Guatemala from a farm called San Francisco, and a little bit of Indian from the BB plantation. It's all locally roasted, it's an organic milk, it's traceable down to each individual farm that the coffee comes from. We make it well, and I think people have found us because of that. Well, the lovely thing about customers here are they're all really nice to serve, which was one of the major determinants of where the cart is. Not so much footfall and how much we can charge people, but whether or not we'd actually enjoy serving the customers. And we seem to have picked a good spot. You see, you should have brought your instrument.
Yeah, right.
If you'd have brought your instrument, you could have distracted from the whole...
Has your mate gone to set up his herb farm?
Oh no, he's gone to see a celebrity herbalist, which I've never heard of. After setting up some small independents myself for other people, I went with a friend called George to Monmouth Coffee, who we sourced the coffee for these independents. And after helping Monmouth set up the stall at Borough Market, we decided that we really wanted to work for this coffee roastery. So I worked there for about 5 years in Soho, and I went off to start a community project in Reading, where it was basically an independent coffee house, but we were training people that were homeless and that had now found flats, and we were trying to give them life skills and work skills in the cafe. And I think by showing them how to make latte art on coffee was a real hook for them. It was an easily transferable skill that not many people can do. It seemed to give them self-esteem. Whenever you see anybody making coffee, there's always a little piece of art on the top of the coffee cup. It's done generally by free pouring the milk and making patterns in the rich crema of the coffee. In London, it's not actually that prevalent in practice. We use it. One, it's fun. Two, the customers like it. But the real reason we use it is to make sure that our milk is up to standard. It's almost like a trademark signature that says, "There, my milk's good enough." If it wasn't fresh and it wasn't foamed well, then I'd never be able to make a pattern on the coffee. I've lost my spoon.
To hear more podcasts about global cafe culture, visit www.starbarista.com.